Jamaica needs to prepare itself for this dispensation of the fourth industrial revolution, where the cyber world will be paired with the physical world. So you're living in the cyber physical. Technology and machines are working together, not just to deliver services in an independent way that was largely delivered in a non-physical way. Now, as was demonstrated, you have machines that can be deployed with artificial intelligence that can function physically. So it's not just call center jobs that we need to be looking at very closely. It is other kinds of jobs that will also be impacted. The solution is not to hide from it. It's not to be fearful of it. The solution is for us to use the technology to increase the level of training and skills in our society so that our people can take on higher order tasks which bring higher order pay.
Well, let me tell all the gang members who are licking their lips, looking on at big fat contracts to come, none of that will happen here. I want to say it loud and clear. We have already started to work with the JDF and the JCF. This will be a military camp if it has to be. There will be no extortion here, no illegal activity here, no controlling of site here. None of this government funding spending here will go to fund criminals. That link must be cut. Taxpayers' money can't come here. And people have name and list who don't come to work, collect pay and then use it to buy God. Cannot happen. Cannot happen. This mustn't help build gangs. So those who have that in their minds, stay far from here. We have learned our lessons. We have seen where many government projects and other private projects, the criminals have sought to take it over. Don't put your eye on this one. The anti-gang legislation, we are perfecting it and we intend to use it. So if you get work on this project, you better turn up and work. Want to be clear about that. If it means that I have to put JDF and JCF around here and any man coming in or coming out has to be checked, and the roster has to be kept outside by the JDF and the JCF about attendance for work, then it will be done. It is sad that I have to speak this way at such an important launch. But until we put these things in the open and treat with them as it should be treated, it will always be continuing. Our generation must break the cycle. We must.
The people of Jamaica watching this historic moment. I stand before you today not merely as the Prime Minister of Jamaica, but as a man humbled by the weight of history and by the responsibility of acknowledging a truth that has lingered for far too long in silence. Today is not a day for politics. It is not a day for rehearsed lines, carefully crafted press statements, or diplomatic posturing. Today is a day for courage, a day for reflection, a day for an apology that carries not just words, but substance, an apology valued not only in the currency of dollars, but in the currency of justice, dignity, and humanity. For years, the world has watched as the people of Burkina Faso have struggled against the weight of external pressures, unfair geopolitical manipulations, and centuries-old structures designed to keep nations like yours small. For too long, many of us, directly or indirectly, stood on the sidelines, complicit in silence, benefiting from the imbalance of power that stripped Africa of her voice, her resources, and her dignity. And for that, I say, as the Prime Minister of Jamaica, we were wrong, profoundly wrong. This apology is not performative, it is not symbolic, it is backed by action. Jamaica, for the first time in its modern history, is making a $600 million reparative commitment to the government and people of Burkina Faso. A gesture not born out of pity, but out of moral clarity, historical accountability, and the understanding that reconciliation without restoration is an empty word. This is why I stand here today before the world to deliver a formal, unequivocal apology to President Ibrahim Traoré and the people of Burkina Faso. Your nation, under your leadership, President Traoré, has become a symbol of courage in an age where silence often masquerades as diplomacy. You have chosen to walk the hard road, the road of sovereignty, dignity, and self-reliance, a road that many warned would be lonely and unforgiving. But instead, what we have seen is the emergence of a nation unwilling to be dictated to, unwilling to be carved into someone else's geopolitical chessboard. And for that, you have earned not only the respect of your people, but of millions across the globe who watch in quiet admiration. I speak to you as the head of a small Caribbean nation, one that has its own history of oppression, exploitation, and colonial entanglement. Our people, like yours, were made to believe for generations that our destinies could only be written by foreign hands. We were told to be grateful for crumbs while our labor, our lands, and our future enriched others. We were told to be silent, but silence does not heal wounds, it only buries them deeper. And buried wounds, as history has shown us, do not disappear. They fester, they rot, and eventually they force their way to the surface. The story of Burkina Faso is not far from the story of Jamaica. Two nations that stood on the periphery of global power, two peoples who inherited chains they did not forge. But there comes a time when history demands accountability, not from those who inflicted the wound alone, but also from those who stood by and watched. There comes a time when moral responsibility must outweigh political convenience. And that time for Jamaica is now. When I look at